This is the final version of the cart, at least for today. Thumb clamps here. You can see all four. And that way I can store them with the cart so I don't lose them. And I can also store the support leg that goes between the left and the right legs. I also made the handle wider just for two-hand stability when I'm carting it around. I can hold my hands out wider, which will help alleviate stability issues with the wheels being on the inside. By doing that, I've totally backed up this stop block for the legs, the inner legs. The other change I had to make was for the outer legs. When I was moving this cart around my yard, when I was moving my saw upstairs to do some trim work, I found out the magnets did not hold the legs to the side. The legs kept on falling. So I make this U-shaped clamp. You got a piece of wood there, and then you got a small little guide piece here, and that's so it can only slide up and down. Okay, so I release that, and now there's one on each side. I can lower the leg. Now I'll show you what that hole is for. The saw is kind of heavy, at least for me it is. I've got the leg clamps for the outside legs released. So now, when I have to lift up my saw, instead of just grabbing a smooth piece of maple, now I've got that hole in there, and when I lift up, remember I'm only doing this with one hand, that hand slot gives me a much safer way of lifting up that side of the table without it slipping out of my hands. So the next change I made, now when I get in this position and I go to grab the inside leg, what I was finding, you got a saw in here, and I just found it hard to grab the handle or the leg because of the magnetic catches, which I like. I mean, they hold the inner legs up there well. See this piece here? I added that, and I'll show you the inside design of it, but when I'm releasing the leg, it makes it real easy and quick to pull it down. Now here's a better look at those little finger grabs I have there now. One on each side. So when I'm pulling it down, my fingers are actually in that concave area. I can grab with these pieces quite easily now and overcome the magnetic connection. With the mobile cart setup, you see I got the wheels here. I wanted to show you why I made those changes to these foot areas here. Down the bottom, I did this one before, but I also changed the one at that end. So by changing that, when I put a clamp knob down here, it'll fit right in here, and I can lock that down and they don't hit each other, or they just touch. But because this is now at 60 degrees, there's less of this part hanging out that way. So the center, you're kind of stabilizing it a little bit by moving the mass closer to the center of the table. The other thing I had to do in order to accomplish that 60-degree angle, this is set up, I believe that's why they have that cut in there, but I had this table more that way. Okay, so I just loosened that knob, and now I just set it to where it'll always clear that. This angle finder sticks out further than it did before. It still has a lot of friction to hold in place, and as you can see, it's not sticking out past the side of the table, so it's safe.